Colin.
Yeah.
What's your top?
I want to talk about Robin Williams. We mentioned him a little bit earlier, but obviously, as you said, he committed suicide this week. We're recording, so people will be hearing it a week or so after that happened. And it was very sad. Robin Williams is a very important comedian and actor. I think an actor that showed a lot of range. I think some of his best work was actually when he played serious characters. Obviously, he won an Academy Award for Good Will Hunting, but he was nominated for Dead Poets Society too and stuff like that, which is maybe his best movie. And some of his creepier roles I think were really interesting too. 1 Hour Photo.
1 Hour Photo, yes.
I think it was like a really weird movie.
Yeah. It doesn't get enough credit. People always talk about it, and you'll hear people like, I liked it a lot. It was the kind of like horror or suspense movie I was into. You know what I mean? Like you knew this guy's off. What's going to happen? What is he going to do next?
Yeah, it was a really weird movie. So I just wanted to kind of throw him out there to see what you guys think of his career and some of your favorite Robin Williams moments, memories, whatever. I know that when I was a young man, Mork and Mindy used to be on Nick at Night, and that show was on from like 78 to 82 or 83. So it was even before I was born. But I used to think that show was hilarious, and
it was hilarious.
And that tie into Happy Days is
that was awesome
because that's in the same universe, which is really weird. With Laverne and Shirley and all that other shit too. And I just thought I just thought he was really funny. Like that character was really funny and genuine and kind of pure. You know, like it was.
Question for you as the expert: what? In the Happy Days Mork and Mindy thing, which I had forgotten all about, so right there, was it that Mork started on Happy Days, or was it that they had 2 concurrent shows and then crossed over?
No, the shows were in this. As far as I understand, he only appeared on Happy Days after Mork and Mindy was over.
Oh,
and I think it was just the same production team, I think, and it was in the same universe.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I mean, and I think about some of the movies that Dead Poets Society. I was watching the "Oh Captain, My Captain" scene yesterday, which is like such a poignant and powerful scene. That movie's just really fantastic. It's a fantastic film. And then I'm thinking about Hook, and I'm thinking about Jack, and I'm thinking about Jumanji, and and Good Will Hunting obviously is way overplayed movie, but like it's
Jack,
on
man.
all the time. Jack was awesome. I remember seeing that in the theater.
That's the first movie I remember crying to.
That's the one where he was
really
the big kid. He was aging in reverse, or was it just that he aged really quickly to be Robin Williams?
He was aging quickly. He was like a 10-year-old boy, but he was like an adult.
Okay.
I forgot what it was, but there's a scene in that movie that for some reason just resonated with me, and I was a little kid, but it hit me so hard that I was like, man, that's so sad. That idea is so sad.
Right.
I remember just crying. It was crazy.
Yeah, doesn't he die?
Yeah, he graduates, right, and dies.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. I remember seeing it with my dad. It was like when we used to go to the theaters on Saturday and see 2 movies, and that was one of the movies we saw. And it was
pay
like
for
96. No.
Thank you. The quick aside about the movies: when I went to see Godzilla and X-Men with Christine, I was like, "Oh yeah, we'll go see a double feature of Godzilla." And she's like, "All right, great." And that was like the idea. And then we're planning the day. She's like, "All right, so we'll go see the first movie, and then we'll go to lunch, and then we'll see the second movie." I'm like, "Well, no, that's what are we? No." And she's like, "Well, I'll buy the first." And I'm like, "What do you think a double feature is?" She's like, "Well, we'd buy." I'm like, "No, you buy one ticket and then you theater hop." She's like, "I am not doing that." And I'm like, "All right."
I mean, I haven't done that. I haven't done that as an adult, but
that was my thing too. I used to do that.
I used to do that all the time. I did that with. I used to do that all the time. I think in 8th grade I saw like Something About Mary and like some other random movie.
Yeah, we used to go to the Glen after. I mean, like I'm junior high. It was the last time I did a double feature where I'm jumping around being stupid. But anyway, sorry.
Yeah, I probably did it like quite a few times.
Yeah, and Hook, man.
Hook was awesome.
Was such a good movie.
Yeah,
Rufio, so awesome.
Yeah, Rufio was awesome.
The thing about Robin Williams now is like whenever people die nowadays in the internet generation, like you see everyone's reactions, like Twitter, Facebook, all that stuff. Then as the days goes on, you start seeing the like more thoughtful like letters and stuff, like his daughter,
right?
Zelda, like put that thing, and then Rufio, I forgot the actor's name, but like he wrote this like really heartfelt letter.
I haven't seen that yet.
And just like it's so hard to read these things, and just be like, man, like you knew them. Like this sucks that you lost somebody. Like we all lost somebody, but like you guys, you're the ones that really lost someone.
Well, there was a good comic that got tweeted today, a web comic this woman drew about how battling her own depression. Right? I'm not familiar with her work, but I think she's been cartooning on the web for a long, long time. And it was that she's known she's been depressed forever, and she's never been suicidal, but more in the way of like. The comics like if there was a button that I could hit to make me not exist, I would do it without a second thought or whatever. And she draws like her mom telling her she wasn't worth anything and her father saying that, and like people being really mean to her. And now she's married and in this committed relationship with an awesome guy or whatever. But same thing, that she can't get over that. And then like how this new that she felt really good, I guess, I'm gonna script the dates here. Today's Wednesday, right? So she had a really good day Sunday, and like didn't feel that way, right? And then Monday she finds out Robin Williams is, killed himself or whatever, and it makes her immediately think about it again. But then watching the world react to it and saying what we're saying, right? That like we are all devastated, but then there's people who like know him and like family members, and like that was her. Watching the world react, let alone the people who actually know him, like Zelda, then gave her this new thing of like she's not gonna do that. She's not gonna think that anymore. Like, she realizes what it would do to her family and her friends and the great life she has now. You know what I mean? And, like she'll still have her bad days and yada yada, but like she can keep this as her like North Star kind of thing. And I thought that was interesting and fascinating, a good thing to come out of this terrible thing.
And that's what happens. Like when things are worst is when you get the best of something. So
yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, for me it was weird because it was a really long week. It's been a really long week, and we're recording on Wednesday, so we got 2 more days. But the news sort of hit as I was doing 50 different things, and I was like, that's horrible, but I don't really have time to take that in. Flash forward, I drive home that night on Broadway, and I hit Broadway and Steiner, which is where the Mrs. Doubtfire house is. Yeah. And there's news trucks everywhere and a candlelight vigil. And I was like, holy crap, that actually, like, that somehow connected me a little bit more in a little bit more material manner than just the sort of reading the headline on Twitter. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. Like I can't believe. I guess the hard thing for me to process, because I'm not someone suffering from an affliction like that, is that I just don't get why if you had that. It's hard because outwardly it looks like his life is amazing, right? The man has been one of the most revered actors / comedians since the 70s, really. I think, right? Like he started doing those stand-ups and he just was, I guess it was a hard life, but he had great success, and he struggled even then with addiction. And all throughout these years. And so it's so hard for me to figure out, like, what was the breaking point now? Because to me, if I had that going for me, and granted, yeah, he's had a few movies lately that weren't great. His show didn't get picked up again.
But I even want to. I mean, like that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I don't know if that played into it. I mean, maybe. The thing
about depression is that it doesn't make sense, right? That's the whole problem with depression. Is I don't even know if it's like if things are pushing him over. I mean, people talk. There's been so many stories about. I'm dealing with depression or this, you hear people talk about what it is, and they're like, because people are like, he had $1 million, why wouldn't he be thrilled? You know what I mean? And they're like, you know what makes you happy, and it doesn't make you happy, and you don't know why, and you can't fix that. You know what I mean? That's crazy. That's like
crazy,
super hard.
This whole thing to me, like you were saying, the Mrs. Doubtfire house, like it's so weird to me. It still hasn't really hit me as hard as I think it might have a couple years ago. Robin Williams lives in San Francisco, or like at least one of his houses in San Francisco. Yeah. Not even Marin. There's a.
You're saying one of his houses? I see what you're saying.
Yeah, one of his houses is in the. It's right by Baker's Beach, and it was like 10 minutes from the house I lived in growing up. And every year at Halloween, we'd go to his house, and like he had this huge thing. Like he had these like giant dinosaurs that he'd bring out, like giant dinosaurs. And you put them out, and then there'd be a line of people. You'd give everyone little glow sticks, and like he'd personally give people candy.
No way, really?
Yeah.
He gave you candy?
He wasn't there every year. Oh yeah, a bunch of years I got candy from him. Like all the time, we'd just give it. And it was like going to his house for Halloween was like Halloween, and so that was awesome. But what was crazy too is like Robin Williams was like a neighborhood staple for me. Like growing up, and I never really realized how like crazy it was, because like I'd watch Hook or Aladdin and all this stuff and be like, oh yeah, it's him. My mom would tell me how big a deal it was, but I never really put it together. But like we'd go to the playground and like his son would be there. We'd go buy Pokemon cards and his son he'd be there with his son buying Pokemon cards and all this stuff. And my favorite Robin Williams story is when me and my little brother went to Blockbuster and we were going to rent movies. I don't remember what I was renting, but my brother was trying to buy You Got Served. Classic American.
Classic. It's on AMC's Top 100.
And Robin Williams is in front of us in line, renting a movie at Blockbuster, because that's what people do.
Yeah.
And we're gonna do this. He turns around to us and he just starts talking to us like I don't even know why. And then he just looks at my brother. He looks. He's like, "Oh, I'm in that." And my brother's like, "Really?" He's just like, "No. Why are you getting that? Get something better." And it was the best. And yeah, that's my Robin Williams story.
That's awesome. Yeah.
He's a special dude.
Movie we haven't brought up that I'm not even saying as a joke. Bicentennial Man. I enjoyed Bicentennial Man. Yeah, because it's just weird. It's a weird movie.
It was weird. It was
Flubber.
conceived. He did great.
No, I did not like Flubber.
See, I loved Flubber.
I was too old for
like
Flubber. Exactly, I was too
old
old for
awesome.
Flubber. Yeah.
The dance sequence, oh man.
Yeah, what I didn't realize about him was just that he was such a conflicted man. Like I don't know how I missed that, because that seems to be pretty well known.
Yeah,
but I didn't realize like who was it? They were saying like he had a pretty severe cocaine addiction.
I knew about the addiction,
and alcohol.
But he did coke with someone who died like that the night he did coke with him. And I can't remember. It's like another famous actor. I can't remember the name. I was just reading about it. That Grantland did this like huge, awesome piece on him that I was reading today, and I didn't realize that he was like so incredibly conflicted about like a lot of things in his life or whatever. And one of the things I always appreciated about him, and I don't think I even realized the level of it until I was reading about it too, was just like I always knew he was like a nerd, which always let us connect with him or whatever. Obviously, he named his daughter after the Legend of Zelda, which is amazing. And I was reading today that he named his son Cody after Final Fight.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
That's rad.
Which like I didn't know too. So it's like, and I was watching the Zelda commercials. I remember seeing them on TV.
Yeah.
That he did with his daughter for the 3DS Ocarina of Time re-release, and I don't know. He just seemed like a really genuine person, and like he always played a part that you can kind of relate to, and it can make you sad. I remember being really kind of again caught up with this part in Good Will Hunting. Like I thought he was just really good in that movie, and I know Ben Affleck and Matt Damon know him a great deal for that playing that role, and
they know it too.
Yeah, and they said, I mean, I think they've said as much. And
Ben Affleck's, I almost like Ben, like I know him, but his tweet was about that. Yeah, like what do you owe a guy who gave you everything? And he's like, the answer is everything. I screwed that up quote, but it's something nice.
So it's a sad thing. It's definitely a loss for American cinema and American comedy, and obviously the world and stuff. And I he was one of ours in this country, like one of our great exports in terms of comedy and acting. And it's sad that it's sad that you can be so profoundly sick that like Nick was saying, like situations that people would really kill to be in. Like have all the money in the world you want. You never have to work again. You work because you want to.
Yeah.
You're beloved in your neighborhood, in your community, and in the country and in the world. And there's still something nagging at you.
Mm-hmm. There's still something, yeah.
And it's like that's profound and fucked up and sad. And it's too bad that he had to be found like that by people. The way he killed himself with people that loved him, and it's a bummer. Like he's definitely, he's one of the first actors that have died for our generation where like we really knew him. And he was really super prominent. It's always sad when someone dies, and like someone like Heath Ledger dies, and it's profoundly sad. And he's a great actor, talented actor. We didn't know what he could do quite yet. He was just kind of coming into his own with Joker and all those kinds of things. Obviously, did a bunch of roles before that people really loved. But Robin Williams, we saw like a whole lifetime's catalog, and now we don't have him anymore. And that's kind of. It's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, I remember when I was a kid, this is just my sort of, not a memory of Robin Williams, but this is something that like I would have liked to have said thank you for, is I wasn't a huge Disney fan when I was a kid. I'd watch Disney movies growing up, and you're like, okay, this is a cartoon, so sure, I'll watch it. You get to Aladdin. He was one of the first people in a Disney movie that I was like, this is a different take on what I had grown up with. This is a really funny, really almost kind of adult character that they've put into this to really kind of shake things up. And from that point on, I started paying attention to those movies because I was like, if they can get me with this, what do they got next up their sleeves? And I can't remember what the next one was. I think maybe it was like Lion King. And then I was like, hooked. Come on.
Yeah, dude. Oh, Aladdin was so good. Genie was so like Genie specifically. You're right. Like
he's the character. He made the movie. You can't have Aladdin. That movie would have tanked without him. Well, it would have done well.
I mean, what's funny? I think I actually told the story before on the show, but
it's gonna tank.
Robin Williams said he'd only do Aladdin if he wasn't the top billing on the poster, and they fucked that up. I don't know if you guys remember. He didn't want his character to be the biggest thing. The genie is the whole top half of the poster, so he got pissed at Disney and like sued him and like got super angry and didn't do the sequel. And then he came back for the third one because he was just like, I like this character. Like,
they settled and everything.
But the character made the movie. Why? It deserves top billing. It's the best.
He doesn't want it to be that way.
Yeah, he didn't want it to be people going for him. He wanted it to be for, I don't know, other stuff. But
Steve from Full House.
Yep.
And so yeah, Genie was played by some different dude in the second movie, but then Robin Williams came back for the third, and then the whole Aladdin series is like begins and ends with that one the dude in the
desert.
The desert guy that's like selling stuff, and who has the lamp, and like that's Genie. That's awesome.
I haven't seen the second and third one. Now you got me excited.
Yeah, I know, right? I was like,
now I'm going back to that.
Yeah,
I'll just watch that final scene, see what he's, or have him.
Yeah, Jumanji too.
Jumanji. I just saw Jumanji, and I say I remember at MomoCon when we were getting ready to go out.
That's the first time you'd seen it.
No.
Oh,
It's the first time I've seen it forever. It was the last time I've seen it since this happened.
Got it.
And it was one of those where it started, and then it was one of those movies where like I just stopped getting ready and sat in the bed because I couldn't remember what exactly. Like, how do they get back and what happens and what?
That movie is one of those the few movies in my life that just like the random quotes will just always be in my head. Like one of the ones is just like, oh, what a little water ever do to someone? He's like, nothing, but a lot could kill him. And I'm like, whoa, that's super deep, Robin Williams. And yeah.
What year is it?
Did you say The Fisher King?
No, I didn't say that.
Oh, I thought I heard you say The Fisher King because that's another great movie.
No, but that was an amazing movie, yeah.
I could have sworn you said that.
Oh, I said we got to finish the game.
Oh.
That's what they kept saying in Jumanji.
Yeah.
You have to finish the game.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't want to finish the game. That was a good movie.
Yeah.
A lot of hits.
You said earlier, you saying Cody, that reminded me that, you know, when you're little and you play as the Ninja Turtles, it's like, I'm Leonardo and you're Donatello, whatever. So me, my brother, my friend Kevin, I was Leonardo, my friend Kevin was Donatello, my brother was Michelangelo. We never had a Raphael. Yeah. So we'd switch out with all the random kids at the park. Cody, he was our Raphael every once in a while.
Oh, yeah?
And that's fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Was he a good actor like his dad?
I mean, we had fun. I don't know. I didn't even relate that he was.
Sure you didn't.
Yeah, but it was fun.
Cool.
That's cool that you had that connection. It's very cool.
Very random.
I'm looking up the kids because I don't think I've ever seen pictures of them. I think Zelda. I saw her Twitter yesterday because of course everyone was like retweeting her.
Yeah.
Or 2 days ago.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've ever seen the kid.
Well, Tim's leaving already.
Tim, you taking off?
No, he's checking the information. We're on battery power today, so we're making sure we work. But we're done anyway. Of course, rest in peace, Robin Williams. Ladies and gentlemen, tell us in the comments, of course, your favorite Robin Williams memory. If you can top being his best friend, growing up with him in the neighborhood, getting candy, meeting him at Blockbuster, let us know. And of course, not to sound cliched, if you're going through anything, reach out for help. You're our best friend. We tell you that all the time. Obviously, we're not making that up. You know more about us by watching these shows than our friends and parents probably do. So make sure you take care of yourselves. We're always there for you in the whatever way we can be, unless I've muted you on Twitter because you were annoying me. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the Game Over Greggy show. Remember, every Friday you can pick it up over at Bandcamp. It's GameOverGreggy.bandcamp.com. $1 gets the entire MP3 uncut, no problems. You get it, you're good, you're great. If you don't want to give us the dollar, I totally understand. Go to YouTube.com/GameOverGreggy. Monday through Thursday, every topic is broken out one by one until we post the whole show for free on Friday. But then you can just go to Bandcamp, buy the one for $1, and have a great time. Go to DistrictLines.com/GameOverGreggy. Buy t-shirts, cups, and stickers right now. Nick is hard at work, I'm sure.
I'm doing it right now. I'm writing notes down.
Posting the campaign shirts, Moriarty, Miller, Scarpino, Gettys. We're giving you 1 month to buy them, and then we'll see who is the more successful presidential ticket.
Love, guys.
And then we'll leave them up, I'm sure, through like 2016.
Do you like parties and love?
Or do you like a balanced economy that doesn't...
Do you like jobs?
Yeah. Do you like
and
security?
Lower taxes?
Do you like having a military?
What?
Look, if you don't have a job, you don't have to pay taxes. You just go to the party all day long.
That's a good point.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back next time. But until then, thank you for watching. It's been our pleasure serving you.